Are self-esteem and self-concept the same? Welcome to the School of Self-Worth Live. I'm Sam Osborne, the Self-Worth Guy. Today we are talking about the difference between self-esteem and self-concept. And if you remember one thing from this video, self-esteem is an estimation of your value and your worth, and self-concept is a definition or comprehension of who you are. So let's go through two main things here. We're going to talk about self-esteem, and then we're going to talk about self-concept. So the first one, self-esteem, I would say, is an estimation of your value, of your worth, of your capabilities, your skill. It's also, an estimation of, let's say, how happy you are in life, or it could be an estimation of how good you are at something. So your skills, your capabilities, your competency. Self-esteem is often thought of as, in conjunction to your self-worth. And so when you're listing or estimating, you would be thinking, okay, what values do I have, or what value do I have to the world in terms of what can you provide to other people? And you might provide something to your family. That's definitely something of value. You might provide something to your job, your career, your business, to the marketplace. Definitely worth something there. And you might provide something in terms of community projects, maybe to an organization that you belong to. Anything that you can give when you give value to other people. That's what we're talking about here in terms of estimating your value. So you'd have to go through different areas of your life and go, okay, what value do I have in that area, and who's receiving that value? And you could also think about the value that you have to yourself. Okay, you can talk about self-respect, dignity. You can talk about, having self-love for yourself. It's totally looking after yourself, taking care of yourself. All of these things, that comes down to, really, if you estimate your worth, you're going to have to list all of these things and, audit your value. I think it's a very fruitful exercise, and you should definitely do it. Now let's talk about self-concept. This is a fantastic one because you can go really deep with this. So self-concept is the definition of who you are. It's your definition that you give to yourself, whether consciously or unconsciously. And the beautiful thing is that the more you think about your self-concept, the more it expands, and you start to realize that your being is an expansive being. That's one of the beautiful things about contemplating yourself and self-knowledge, is that you start to discover more wonderful things about who you are. I mean, let's just go through a few things. You can go through your self-concept physically, mentally, and spiritually. Let's just have a look at those three things with some examples. So you might say, all right, conceptually, who am I physically? You go, well, I'll look at this body, and you can start to define who you are, from the outside. You can say you're fit, strong, good looking. You could say, you are athletic, you're flexible. You might say, I'm a bit of a slob and I might need to change up some of my ways. But physically, I want you to also look on the inside. This is where it gets interesting, because even if you study a little bit of biology and you look at the cellular level of your body, you are going to be amazed at who you really are. And you start to look at your DNA and what you're made up of on a molecular level. And then you look at how all the systems of the body function together. It is incredible. So you would have to admit to yourself that your self-concept physically is a marvel, an absolute marvel and miracle of nature. Okay, so that just looking at yourself physically is going to expand your appreciation and reverence for yourself. You're going to cherish your body. So I think looking at your self-concept physically is going to be incredible for your self-worth. Let's look now mentally. So you might think, okay, who do I think I am mentally? What are my beliefs? What are my values? What are my ideas about life? What's my internal thinking like? What do I think about most? And start to really look at all of those things and go, who do I think I am mentally? That's a great pursuit, a lifelong pursuit, to find out who you really are. And then here comes the big one. Look at your concept spiritually. Now, whether you're atheist or not, you have to have this feeling that there is this beautiful, almost unknown aspect to who we are. And that's what I mean when I say spiritually. You might also be a very religious person. Say, I believe we have this soul, or you might believe there is a God and you're part of it in some way. And trying to comprehend deeper and deeper levels of your spiritual self is one of the most satisfying things you can do. You can start to find out, wow, I've got this expanded nature to myself. The more I go into my own consciousness, whether it's through meditation, whether it's through dancing or traveling the world or whatever it is, whatever practice you do. So I really recommend that you contemplate who you are spiritually. It's going to be a really beautiful growing exercise for you. So let's summarize. So the difference, is there a difference between self-esteem and self-concept? Yes. Self-esteem is an estimation of your value, and self-concept is the definition of who you are. Now, if you've liked this episode, I have a free gift for you. It's called Crush Imposter Syndrome Forever, the starter kit for bulletproof confidence, and you can get it at the links above and below, depending on where you are watching or listening. And if you're watching, you can get it on the screen right now, samosborn.com/starter kit. And I invite you to join the School of Self-Worth Facebook group. Come and say hi. I'm there every day. That is the best way to get in contact with me, ask your questions. I'd love to make a video for you. And if you remember one thing from today, it is that self-esteem is an estimate of your value and your worth, and self-concept is the definition of who you are. And that is the difference between self-esteem and self-concept. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.